Now, I've always wanted to make a traditional bear paw quilt, and today is the day. So let's make my bear paw quilt pattern using fat quarters and background yardage. Now, for the fabrics, I am using the Season of Tribute, Roots of Nature by Bonnie Christine, and Pure Solids in the color Moss, all from Art Gallery Fabrics. I will have a link down below in the description for you to purchase from a quilt store that I trust and also personally shop at. Doing so, a small percentage will help go towards my channel. Now, once all of your fat quarters are ironed, it is time to cut everything needed. So with each fat quarter, you'll be cutting 8 4.5-inch squares, 16 3-inch squares, and 2 2.5-inch squares. Now, I highly recommend that you cut each fat quarter one by one because we need to use just about every single square inch of your fat quarter. There will be no room for error, so please make sure that you measure twice and cut once. Now, to save time, I went ahead and cut everything needed with our background fabrics, which you'll be cutting 3-inch squares, 2.5-inch squares, and 2.5-inch by 6.5-inch rectangles with your background fabrics. Now, of course, all of that information will be available in the free PDF pattern, which I will have linked down below in the description. Bear Paw is available in 5 quilt sizes: baby, throw, twin, queen, and king. Now, with either of your background 3-inch squares or your print 3-inch squares, you're going to draw a 45-degree line on the wrong side of the fabric. Then you're going to place a background and print 3-inch square right sides together on top of each other. Sew a 1/4-inch seam allowance on both sides of the line that you just drew, and then using a rotary cutter or fabric scissors, go ahead and cut on that line that you just drew to create 2 half-square triangles. Now you're going to repeat this to every single print and background 3-inch square. Now, to save some time, I went ahead and did enough to complete a block. So with that said, you're going to take 4 matching half-square triangles, 1 background 2.5-inch square, and 1 print 4.5-inch square that is different from your half square triangles. Now you're going to form a paw block, and you're going to sew everything together with a 1/4-inch seam allowance. Now once you have completed the paw block, you're going to make a set of 4 matching prints. Then with those 4 paw blocks, you will also need 4 2.5-inch by 6.5-inch background rectangles and 1 print 2.5-inch square that is the same print as your half square triangles. And then this time we are going to once again sew everything together with a 1/4-inch seam allowance until we have completed a traditional bear paw quilt block. Now your block will measure as a 14.5-inch square, and that's it. All you have to do is repeat the same steps until you've made enough quilt blocks for the quilt size that you have selected. And then once all of your blocks are created, it is time to lay your quilt out. Now this pattern uses 2.5-inch strips of sashing, which you will place in between each block, and then you'll sew your blocks together with your sashing to form a row, and then you'll add another 2.5-inch sashing between each row to complete the layout. And then lastly, all you'll have to do is add your background border and you are done. And here is what my finished quilt top looks like. Once again, I will be using the coordinated background flannel even for this quilt. And as for the thread choice, I was going to use this Starlight shown here by Glide Threads, but I ended up switching it to Glide Thread in Fern. And here is what my bear paw quilt looks like all quilted out. And I do hope you have enjoyed today's tutorial. If you could please take a moment to hit that like and subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you can be notified for your next amazing quilt project.